A show based on the facts, honesty, the man, the myth, the legend. ChristiTutionalist Joseph M. Leonard.
Welcome to ChristiTutionalist Politics Podcast, aka CTP, in association with TheLibertyBeacon.com, and I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard, and that's Leonard. CTP is your no muss, no fuss, just me, you, and an occasional guest type podcast. Really appreciate you tuning in. As Graham Norton would say, let's get on with the show! Welcome to another Wednesday midweek ChristiTutionalist Politics special drop. The guest today is James Gebhardt. There is a D in there, but it's silent. It's Gebhardt. But I see on your screen, and others looking at the video behind the scenes will see Jim. So you prefer Jim?
Yeah, Jim's fine.
Okay. And also AKA Noah. So let's just dive right in. And why? Oh, first, before we do that, I got a disclaimer alert. Okay. This is not a paid product placement. There is no quid pro quo beyond he's on my show, so I'm going to promote him, and I ask he promote the show that he's on in return. Beyond that, there is no monies exchanged. I invited Jim on the show because I, as a former IT guy, and agree with his write-up, we're living in a digital age, his service I can see value to, so I'm having him on again. No paid product placement. Do you hear that, YouTube? This is not a paid advertisement. Okay, so Jim Gebhardt, aka Noah, what is that about? What does that mean?
Oh, well, our name of our company is MyArkit, MyArkit.com. And what we do is we help people basically save their digital memories. They're actually their digital self, because we live our lives digitally, cradle to grave now. And so basically, it's kind of like Noah going out there to, get everybody one by one and save them digitally. So I kind of think, I'll call myself Noah once in a while. Why not?
Okay. Now, that aside, usually a guest is like a singer, songwriter, author. So we usually go into the background of the guest. So let's do that traditional podcast question. Who the hell is Jim Gebhardt? Where were you born, raised, where are you? All that kind of nitty-gritty stuff.
Oh, I was born back in Iowa. I'm actually a Midwestern farmer. Not a farm boy, but I was from Des Moines, Iowa.
A Cornhusker.
Hawkeye.
Oh, okay.
Actually, we talked one year. I actually moved out to Washington. I live in Washington now, where we have mountains.
The state, the state, not
the
DC.
State. Oh my God, I would live in DC.
Yeah.
One year, a corncob pie was actually our tallest hill they had in the whole state. So I was great growing up. Had basically like a Tom Sawyer type childhood. My cousins had a farm. We go out there swimming in the ponds and baling hay and things like that. My dad was an auto mechanic, and his father was a mechanic too. And basically got interested in a photography career, being a photographer, and just kind of made my way from there to California for a couple of years, and then basically decided to move to Washington, which I'd never been here before. And we moved up here when it was totally fogged in for 2 weeks. And he goes, oh, this must be fun. And then one day I'm coming around a curve, and there was Mount Rainier, this huge mountain, 14,000 foot mountain, and it was gorgeous. So I've been here ever since.
That's great. Do you have IT background, or was this just MyArkit just epiphany, like, oh, I
was
gotta get involved in that.
no IT background. The mostest I ever done, mostest, I think that's a word, was probably back when the old days of when computers first started. I remember me and a friend put together an old 386 computer with about 8 RAM. I mean, just 8. Barely even ran Windows 3. And it was cool. That's about as much IT as I got going. And actually, the whole purpose behind what we do.
Well, this is a Christian, so we like to say the genesis of, right? But
the genesis of moving right along, moseying down this road, Moses, and so anyways, it was back in about 96, 97. We did a pilgrimage back to.
I see what you're doing. I love it. I love it.
So we did a pilgrimage back, me and the wife and the 2 kids, my 2 daughters, back to Iowa. And I sat my dad down. He has a little log cabin out in the country. And I sat him down there and did a video, just the old rent a camera, old VHS type thing. And I was, hey, Dad, what we do? We're a kid. You know, he was a newspaper boy. He was drafted into the Korean War. He had some really funny stories about he was in the motor pool in Japan in the Korean War. And so, you know, then he grew up and he had, you know, first bike, first car, all these little things, all these little memories that you'd love to have of your dad. And now I have them now for my kids. And now I got my grandkids. Well, he passed away a couple of years after that. And then I made a DVD. And then it was kind of like, okay, you have those memories. But then as time goes by, it's like, where's the DVD? Then you got to burn another one. Well, now that was 3 operating systems ago. So it was a real pain. Then I also inherited the family photo albums. So, you know, you got the old photos, but you could easily digitize those. You can just take a picture if you want to, digitize. You still had to figure out what to do with it. So there I was waiting for my burning bush moment. And I was working in my work van. I used to be for about 20 some years, I was an electrician. And sitting there eating a ham sandwich. Sorry about no pork thing, but I was eating a ham sandwich. And it just kind of goes, there's got to be some way of being able to keep this stuff. So I started looking into it. And the clouds and things like that, we actually keep stuff nowadays. If you don't touch it, they figure you're not around. They're going to delete that stuff. So we made a company. I got a hold of some IT guys and got somebody that actually kind of believed in what we were doing. And we made myarchit.com where you can actually, one service we have is a lifetime account where you can actually take the best of your best memories. You can put a picture on there. You can even add an audio story to that picture, which is really fun. And then basically there's my dad's stuff. I can just chop up that video. I could put him in there. Now his great grandkids get to see what grandpa was really like. Instead of having it deleted or somebody says, how many things do you have on your phone right now? You know, even if you have a picture on there, there's no meaning. My brother died. I wasn't able to get any video of him, but I have pictures of him, but I would love to have him tell a story. Nobody else could tell a story like my brother. And it was kind of like going, okay, you need some kind of a business to where you can actually save people's digital memories, their digital self.
Yeah, and that's what really attracted me to you. Full disclosure, I do not have an account. I may or may not in the future, but that's what really piqued my interest and curiosity. The part where you say in your own words and thoughts, or other people also adding words and thoughts. So you have not just, like you said, the picture on your phone or saved on your laptop or an external hard drive. You've got these online that I take it you can share access to other people in the family to then be able to see and hear these things. It's much more than just that image that, like you said, right, being former IT guy. A single backup means you're not backed up.
Oh, exactly. Multiple backups.
It's a one point of failure. I back up to 2 different external drives. I back up to 2 different clouds. So because I'm former IT guy, just to tell the story, former Kmart HQIT. We had a system, all right? Yeah, we had backups, of course. We thought we had everything backed up, but I had only been there 5 years. The others who had the system before us cut a few corners. We didn't know that. And guess what? Even if you have what's called mirrored hard drives, that is where, or a RAID system, where each hard drive, a little bit of another drive is saved on it. And as long as only one hard drive goes out, we can rebuild that one drive to restore your whole system without needing the backup. Well, 2 hard drives went out, and even with a mirrored system, it was gone, lost, can't be recovered except from the backup tapes. And then is when we discovered, there was this whole set of data they didn't have in the backup. So our team had to spend 3 days. All the Super K computers were down for 3 days while a team rebuilt that information from scratch so we could go back online. So yeah, full backups. You can do incrementals beyond that, but yes, you need multiple locations. But that's, off topic. Well, not really. Again, the point is having your images and something also available elsewhere via your service. Those 2 things are what really attracted me to you and said, this is something I want to share with the audience.
Yeah, you have the capability of when you have, let's just say, your Lifetime account as one of our services, you get to choose who gets to see it. So sometimes you might have a family and you make different albums in there. I got albums for pets, cars, of course, things like that. And then you can have a group. So a group could be like your family or something like that. And you kind of, you can see this type of thing where you're just dumping stuff in there. So it's not like throwing it out on a Facebook or something like that, where everybody gets climb all over it. And, so this becomes very private. And then at the same time, if a person passes away, you have an executor to your account, which clicks a button. And now your account becomes a memorial account, but everything you've put in there is locked. It cannot be edited. You can have new stuff put in there, but all your stuff you put in there cannot be edited. And our first line of backup, I think, is going through our ISP, Internet Service, ISP. You go through them first, and then we go through Amazon Web Services. And then as we get a little bit bigger, we're totally branching off and also going on to Iron Mountain. So we have 2 big, huge backups that, and then eventually in the very close to distant future type thing, we'll also go into the DVD archival systems, to where now we'll totally get out of the magnetic portion of it and go into DVD archival stuff that we can probably do with Iron Mountain in Missouri in their and underground storage facilities, and basically have stuff there that can sit there for 100 years and not get any degradation at all.
Yeah, and my audience knows I like to joke around, so please don't take offense to this. It's like, darn it, Jim, I'm upset. I have a mischievous side, and I was kind of hoping that when you died, I could manipulate your videos.
Well, you can take one, edit it a little bit, and then still put it in there. That's fine. You still got to go through the moderator who's actually doing the memorial site, but what the heck? I'm dead. I don't care.
Yeah, I want to completely distort and destroy your reputation when you're gone, Jim.
I'll just come back and haunt you.
Yeah, for the sake of the transcript, for those reading rather than viewing, or who don't get sarcasm and humor, that is a joke.
I always tell people, you can, the little things you can put in there, like when you click it over to memorial site, some of your stuff that you have down as private becomes public, and we did that because some things, if you do pass away and you have stuff in there, well, it'll never be seen by anybody. So we figured just make everything public, everybody can see it. So the person you don't like maybe the person who was, manipulating your videos, basically you tell people saying you buried some gold in their yard, and you let people kind of go digging for it then.
There's the mischievous angle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I had something pop in my head. Now I forgot what it was, but yeah, indeed. Yeah. Certain things that might be a little more private, you don't want to necessarily publicly admit. Oh, I remember now. Until you're gone.
Right.
You leave your spouse to deal with those consequences.
Yeah. Then it's okay.
Old Maggie's got to deal with the revelations I've allowed to become public now.
Yeah. It's just like, what? What other family?
Yeah.
You got 10 other kids? What? It's kind of like a digital Father, for I have sinned.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I circled something and then forgot about it, because I was going to say at the top of the show, not all my guests have necessarily anything to do with Christianity or politics. And I was expecting the show, and excuse me, frog in my throat there, to indeed have nothing to do with Christianity or politics, but we've inserted a few kind of puns to relate it within Christianity. But I also saw you did mention that related Christian-wise to honoring your mother and father. Like you said, then there is a memoriam for them when they're gone.
I think a person should honor their mother and father. And I'm a Christian, and I think it's very important I tell people, so even if you don't want to get our service, sit them down, get some memories, know that that they have so much stuff, they've lived their lives, and just get some of those. All of a sudden you'll go, oh, you did that, or you did this. And all of a sudden another memory will click in it. And if you just even just get the audio of it, because we have audio download too, just straight audio, or take a picture, or just go through a photo album, and you see the picture, take a picture of it. Now record them, tell them about something when they were, their 16th birthday or something like that. Right. Honor them. They are your mother and your father.
Now, like my father, people who listen to the show regularly know, has a legacy. He founded Ted Leonard Jr. and the Polka Kings. There are three out. I did it again. I hold up three fingers, but if I hold up,
is that six or is that three?
That's right. Only one hand, three fingers. Has three albums. So I've got his music anytime I want to hear him again, because he was not only the accordionist, but he sang for the group. So I've got those, but Mom sang for the church choir. But now that I think about it, me and my sister never ever thought to record her as part of the choir to be able to listen back to, and that would be something you could do. Hey, Mom's part of the choir, asked to be able to go into the choir loft with a video camera, record them singing, highlight Mom, put it on myartkit.com, and yeah, here's Mom as part of the choir, or whatever.
Oh yeah, there's those little memories, even just the think of what somebody sounded like when they spoke. One of the greatest orators of all time that would actually mesmerize an audience was Abraham Lincoln. And he did a speech one time where the reporters, for about the first 5 minutes, were so engulfed in one of his stories he was telling, they started going, "Are you writing this down?" They were looking at each other. They were just engulfed in the story, and it makes you kind of wait. What did he sound like? What did Washington sound like? We have that capability now of being able to kind of get a feeling of what somebody was even like, what they sounded like, their personalities. Basically, we can do their personalities.
Yeah, and even their body motions. Their
Oh
body
yeah,
language.
yeah.
I'm part Italian, so yeah, you've seen.
I could not tell. I could not tell.
Arms waving about. Yeah, that's the Italian part. Also part Polish.
It's a part Italian.
Yeah. What's the matter, you? All right. Now we pissed off the fellow.
You went to that university too.
I'm also part Polish, and I have no problem with Polak jokes because if you cannot laugh at yourself, you shouldn't make fun of anybody else.
All right. Well, that's fun. Yeah, we have a. So we'll get off not a political part of it, but one of our other services we have is what we call events. So where a person buys an event and it works great for like say a wedding, where you have all these people coming in to the wedding, but each person could be a participant in the wedding. You know, you have the photographer there doing some great shots and things like that. But what about everything before the wedding? All the rehearsal stuff, all the stuff even after the wedding, where you have maybe your first, second, all your anniversaries and stuff like that. Plus everybody, when did you first meet? Maybe you can put all those things down in the memories into an event. But one of the things I was wanting to try to do as an event, it kind of went me back to when we just had the Trump assassination attempt, where it got me thinking back on the JFK assassination. Wouldn't it be cool if we can take each person's little piece of maybe where they were, maybe a little bit of their information, and now we pool it into an event? Because I read a really great book called Case Closed on the Kennedy assassination. And it was fascinating how people that day had a different recollection when they did maybe 3 or 4 months later, because all of a sudden everybody else was saying something different. Now their recollection is changing. Well, if we had all that information on an event, now you can go to one place and now you get their little videos, their little stories, their pictures explaining where they were doing, what they're happening, what they're seeing. That could be an event we could use historically.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. That's a great thought. Yes, because indeed, as you said, that's why investigators want to talk to separate witnesses, talk to them individually, right away up front while it's fresh. What do you remember now in this moment? Because a week, a month, and especially a year and beyond later, the memories get fuzzy or they get influenced by somebody else, and you are now remembering it different than you actually thought you saw it when you saw it, heard it, and was in it. So yeah, that's a wonderful, wonderful little additional piece in there, that an event. So there are other features, as if joking that this isn't a paid ad, but like a late night ShamWow ad. But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. We give you a free set of steak knives with every purchase. No, I don't get that many steak knives. No, well, I always have things in the back of my mind I want to do. Like one of them, I want to also attach the capability of a genealogy or a family tree.
So this might be in the future.
Yes.
Would not, was it my ancestor? Whatever, one of those sites. I did, for about a month and a half. I did that and went back as far as we could in the records and that. And I immediately canceled the service. Didn't need it anymore. So the ability to port something like that over or do that alone within your site, maybe you could partner with Ancestry.com or whomever as a cooperative to build that into your system. That would be a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah, I'm going up and down on how I want to do it. I want to make it very kid friendly type of thing. It's just like, because I think they really kind of want to know who your ancestors are. But so I don't want to get it overly technical. I want to make it fun. I want to make it easy. I want to make it to where just like when we have our services like events or your lifetime account or your memorial account, things like that, it's a one-time purchase. You don't have to sit there and pay a monthly subscription fee. It's a one-time purchase. You've bought that 10 gigabytes of storage space forever. Because basically we put that the extra money over into our principal investment group account. We're starting with JP Morgan, to where just the return on investment pays for the data storage. So that's why we can go on forever and ever and ever. But
Right.
yeah.
The other positive to having an ancestry type tree service built in is then you can then allow linkage or notification that great aunt so-and-so has got a Myarchic, and you can request then access to her account to see.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM is your conservative flamethrower. Weekdays, Steve Gruber starts things off at 6 a.m. Gruber gives his perspective on the issues of the day. At 9 a.m., Glenn Beck blazes the airwaves with his nationally syndicated program. From noon to 3, it's Dennis Prager. At 3 o'clock, it's Wham's own Thayrone X. On the Edge, Thayrone tells it exactly as he sees it. At 6, it's The Dana Show, your conservative alternative. At 8, don't miss Joe Pags. Weekends are filled with conservative talk as well. Fingers Malloy, Thomas LeDuc, The Abolitionists Roundtable, A Moment of Clarity with Pastor Rick, Your American Heritage with Ed Bondarenka, Dave Janda's Operation Freedom, and Dick Kupke's Trigger Talk. You can even get links to Wham podcasts from Dave, Dick, and of course Thayrone, all from their pages on our website, whamradio.com. Keep it locked on Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM in southeastern Michigan, and whamradio.com anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get the people. Genealogy is great, but at the same time, people are missing today. Today will become tomorrow. So if you in the future, near future, you click on somebody's lifetime account, you're looking at your genealogy. Oh, there's Jim's account over there, aka Noah. You click on that, boom, you get my whole account. You get to see what's going on. You just don't get my picture and a small byline and maybe where I was born, where I went to high school, birth certificate. You really don't really need all that kind of stuff. I want to get the meat and potatoes of it. What was your first car? When was your first kiss? Things like that.
Yeah, that's all great stuff. I'm glad that we managed to connect online so that you could come on the show. This is above and beyond any expectation I had, but that's how it is with guests. You have a few notions, but you never know where it's really going to go. Like I mentioned with a guest the other day, I purposely, willfully do not do a ton of research of a guest ahead, because I want to be like my audience and learn as we go. And wherever the rabbit holes open are where we go down. So
that's fun. That's a fun part. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more, the way I see it, not to toot my own horn, but better than the usual guest shows they've got questions 1 through 10. They're the same questions every damn time. Like I like to joke when I go on a show to promote one of my books, as opposed to C-SPAN, what are they, book notes or whatever. It's the guy with the monotone voice is, welcome to the book show. Tell us about
Bueller.
Boring. Yeah. Don't want any of that here. So we're going to wrap it up. I like to keep the shows kind of short. If they get too long, fewer people will bother to watch them or listen. So wrapping it up, we've said MyArtKit several times. It's myartkit.com. It will be in the show notes, of course. Are there any other avenues to reach out to you?
MyArtKit's on Facebook, X, and Instagram. I always like to leave one little bit of stuff I think we already talked about. Was the big thing right now is to just get some of the memories of people you love. You know, I have a great friend of mine. He just went on vacation. He was just about ready to go to vacation to go to Vegas, and his brother got into an accident, a motorcycle accident, and he might not make it. And all of a sudden, boom, you have no more memories you can get. You know, don't think about, oh, I could get it tomorrow, something like that. No, make an appointment with your mom or your dad or whatever like that. You sit down and just start making some of those memories. Get them why they're hot and fresh.
I do have another note I wrote down. Thankfully, I wrote it down. There are lots of services like, well, I got old 8mm. I've got old VHS. Send it in, we'll digitize it. Do you also offer digitization services yet? No. Is that something you may do in the future?
We might partner with somebody where we might affiliate over to them, but we try to make it very, very simple to where, you know, anybody can do that. And there's a lot of services out there that do a great job doing that. And, you know, you digitize your stuff, find the cream of the crop type of stuff, and then come to us and say, this is stuff I want to send it to extra generations, you know.
Yeah.
And then we'll work with you. And my ARC-IT will sit there, and when you want to upload it, you hit the magic button that says ARC-IT.
Yeah, and my sister a couple years ago indeed dug up some of the 8mm that mom and dad recorded. So of course, mom and dad aren't in a lot of them, or dad isn't in a lot of them, because of course dad was always doing the recording, right? But we've got those on DVD, and then, like you said, once you have those, send the 8mm off to get digitized to DVD, then they can be put up. So yeah, dad was luckily in one of the dozen that we got, but it was so nice to see like distant cousins that hadn't seen in 40 years back from when they were young. It's like, oh my, and it's like, who was that? And it would take months figuring out, oh, now I know who that is. And then once you know, on my ARC-IT, you can update the notes to say, so and so and so and so and so and so are the other players in the video.
Yeah, you got to know who the players are. You need a program to know the players.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, James, Jim, aka Noah, Gebhardt, for my ARC-IT coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Take care. God bless.
God bless. Thank you very much.
Hey, gang, a brief interruption in the show about Christmas giving, kind of, sort of, or to ask, are you a coffee drinker? What about other coffee drinkers you know? It's indeed Christmas giving time, Hanukkah giving time. Again, I want to ask you, those coffee drinkers on your gift giving list, socks that'll get put in a drawer, they forgot you gave them, a tie or a shirt that'll end up buried in the back of the closet, they forgot you gave them. How about something useful, like blackout coffee? Yes, I am partnering with Blackout Coffee. You can use promo code JOSEL20, Joseph for Joseph, L20 for 20% off, JOSEL20. Promo code. Or better yet, I've created a shortcut, tinyurl.com/blackoutcoffees. And of course, blackout coffees all run together as one word, not three separate words. So again, tinyurl.com. I love using their shortcut services /blackoutcoffees. Should take you right in and automatically apply your 20% discount. So for yourself or for others, this Christmas, give Blackout Coffee something you know they're going to use, something they're going to enjoy, something that they then fondly remember you and your gift every time they sip from the Blackout Coffee cup of coffee. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Merry Christmas. Thank you for having tuned in for ChristiTutionalist Politics Show. If you haven't already, please check out my primary internationally available book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you. Available anywhere books are sold. If you have locally run bookstores still near you, they can order it for you, or autographed copies are available online direct from me via terrorstrikes.info/shop. Be sure to check out more about today's discussion at thelibertybeacon.com, where my articles drop every Saturday. And let me remind, over time, the fancy high production items will come, but for now, for starters, it's just you as a very appreciated listener by me. All substance, no fluff, just straight to key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Take care. God bless. Like and subscribe to ChristiTutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help.
It is a myth that terrorism stopped during COVID. Unfortunately, mainstream media opted to prioritize pandemic hysteria over promoting all news. Terrorism continues. Simply hoping that it doesn't affect you is not a strategy. The new book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you, featured on The Author Show, is now available in paperback from bookstores, online, or as an ebook exclusively through Amazon Kindle. Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you by Joseph M. Leonard. Order today.